Good evening, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping on air to give you an update on that severe thunderstorm warning that we currently have impacting Hays and Travis County. This is mostly for Hays County here. Let me kind of break everything down for you. You'll notice that we have that box that is just south of the Austin metro area, the gold box on your screen. Let me kind of just take this full to kind of break everything down for you. You see this heavy band of magenta, the red, the yellow. This is part of the heaviest part of the storm that's containing possibly hail up to baseball size and 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Now, the severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect until 8:30. The time is currently just about to turn 8:01, and the system is moving southeast. I believe southeast at about 40 miles per hour is the last update that we had from the National Weather Service. We'll take it full for you, and we'll also loop it a little bit so you can see that storm movement. Now, this is bringing some pretty heavy torrential downpours to the area. Let me go ahead and get the latest for you from the National Weather Service. So as of just a few minutes ago, the latest projection was the system is moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. It has the potential for up to 2-inch size hail and 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Austin, really the southern edge of Austin could be impacted by this. I think this is more going to be of concern for areas down the line, such as Wimberley, Buda, Kyle, and maybe even San Marcos, if this holds together. And right now, I think there is certainly a good reason to believe that it could. Let's take a look at the hail tracker together and show you the latest in regard to that hail size. We're going to zoom in here just south of Dripping Springs. You see that area of magenta and purple. Well, that is indicating probably our largest hail core right now, showing hen egg size hail. Just north of Wimberley, it's a bit smaller. It's probably pea size, and the darker gray is indicating grape size hail. Blue indicating golf ball size hail. So this storm is fairly large in regard to the space that it is covering with that hail. If you're in Dripping Springs, you're most likely also hearing some hail on your windows as well. In addition to this, we're seeing quite a bit of lightning, frequent thunder out there. Please make sure you head indoors if you are seeing that lightning or hearing that thunder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the storm cone on here for you and show you who needs to be on alert. Like I said, this is moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. So we are going to do this right here. This is just one timeline for you here. Hays City by 8:12. That's in the next 10 minutes. Kyle by 8:28. Reedville by 8:41 if this storm were to hold together. Once again, as a reminder, this severe thunderstorm warning lasts until 8:30 this evening. So if you're just jumping on, we are talking about the severe thunderstorm warning that is impacting the southern portion of the I-35 corridor. If we take a closer look here, you can see that it says tornado possible. That is because there has been the potential for some rotation within some of the storms earlier. Let's go ahead and take a look at that together. I think the area that has the best potential for rotation would actually be closer to the Wimberley area. Now, I'm not seeing much rotation, but the fact that I am seeing this bright shade of blue right here, this area right here, let me highlight it for you. This area right here on your screen, I think this is where we're probably seeing our strongest winds or gusts. Now, the National Weather Service said that we could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour in this storm. I think that's where they would most likely be located. Once again, that is going to be heading toward Wimberley right now. 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Please make sure you head indoors as this is rather considerable in regard to potential destruction from this kind of storm. So once again, right now, the bulk of the activity really in between Dripping Springs and Wimberley for the severe weather threat, but we need to be on alert for the rest of the boxed area that you're seeing on your screen. Once again, if you're just jumping on, we do have this severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 impacting mostly Hays County, but you do also see the tiniest sliver of southern Travis County that's included. That's not where the most destructive portion of the storm is currently located. Now, if you're out there in Blanco County, you're getting some pretty moderate to heavy downpours as well, in addition to some lightning. The hail threat is mostly stretching from Dripping Springs to Wimberley. Once again, on the radar right now, you're seeing the magenta, the pink, the purple. That's indicating the strongest feedback from the radar where we'd see that largest hail. I will also go ahead and throw the hail tracker on here once again right there. The areas of blue indicating our largest hail areas of gray showing the smaller hail, but still something to be mindful of. We're talking pea size here. Now, if you are on the southern or even southeastern edge of the severe thunderstorm warning, you do still have some time before it arrives on your doorstep. It's moving in once again at 20 miles per hour to the southeast. If you can find covered parking, if it's easily accessible to you, I would encourage you to find that and move your car under there. However, if you cannot do so within, I'd say, the next 5 to 10 minutes, just go ahead and stay in place in your safe space. Because that lightning is going to be knocking on your doorstep pretty shortly, and there's no need to try and outrun a storm like this. So go ahead, if you have that carport garage parking that you can bring the car inside, by all means do so. If the wind is not picked up in your neighborhood just yet and you're able to clear everything out of the yard, any loose objects that you might have, maybe you have a hammock out on the porch or anything like that, or some chairs, some lawn furniture, bring that in now if you can. Once again, that is if you are on the southern edge or the eastern edge of this severe thunderstorm warning. If you are already seeing the lightning, you're hearing the thunder, that means it's too late to try and fix that at the moment. So once again, pulling up the latest for you on the severe thunderstorm warning. I'm checking also in with the National Weather Service. Let me get the latest from them. So the latest that was just released within the past 30 seconds from the National Weather Service is this warning will remain in effect until 8:30. It was located over Driftwood or near Dripping Springs. It's now moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail is now possible, along with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Areas that could be impacted include San Marcos, Kyle, the southern edge of Austin, Tanglewood Forest, Wood Creek, Mustang Ridge, Bear Creek, Shady Hollow, Onion Creek, Driftwood, Mountain City, Sunset Valley. Now, once again, this is in effect until 8:30. The bulk of the activity really closer to Dripping Springs, between Dripping Springs and Wimberley. What I also want to do is once again give you a look at the Doppler winds over the past hour. Now, you saw probably on that tornado or that severe thunderstorm warning graphic, I should say, how it mentioned tornado possible. Now, where we would see that if we were to pick up rotation would be where the red and the green start to kind of do a dance around each other. They twirl a little bit. The red is indicating winds that are going away from the radar, which is a little bit further to the south, and the green is indicating winds that are coming toward it. Now, the brighter you see this green kind of turning into blue, that means the stronger the wind line is. So this is where I think we're seeing those 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Let me freeze that here and kind of zoom in here a little closer here. So think closer between Fisher and Wimberley, and maybe just outside of Hays City as well. This is where our most damaging wind is locally. Like I said, the National Weather Service warned up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. On top of that, you also have the hail threat that's associated with it, with also the lightning and also the heavy downpours. Now, we have not seen any flooding concerns so far today, even though some of these storms have had some fairly strong downpours associated with them. If we're looking for a silver lining here, I mean, this area is struggling the most with drought throughout central Texas, really the southern portion of the hill country into the southern I-35 corridor. So bright side, we are getting some decent rain. The not so bright side is the very large hail threat and the severe weather that's associated with it. So once again, we'll pull back up that radar, show you what we're working with here. Once again, the bulk of it really remains between Dripping Springs and Wimberley. Taking a look at the latest from the National Weather Service, they have not provided any additional insights on this particular storm, but what I think we can do right now together is kind of cut open this system and take a look on the inside of it, because I think this would be very enlightening for us here to see what exactly is going on here. Okay, so what I'm showing you right now is kind of like a cut of the storm. So what we're doing is we're cutting the radar here. This is showing you basically from a side view if you were to look at this storm, looking at the updrafts that go up in the atmosphere. These numbers that you're seeing right here, that's the altitude, 10,000 feet up in the air, 30,000, 50,000 feet. The higher you see these bands of yellow and orange get higher and higher, the stronger the storm, the stronger the updraft, most likely the larger the hail and the heavier the downpour. Now right now we're seeing these top out over 40,000 feet is what I'm seeing right here in between Wimberley and Dripping Springs. That's pretty significant here, and that's why we do see either a considerable or destructive threat with the severe thunderstorm warning with that hail potential. So once again, let's kind of time it all out for us together. This is a look at the current radar area wide. What I'm going to do here is pull back up that storm timeline for you. We're going to move this shot a little bit further down to the south. And we're going to focus in on who needs to be on alert. What I'm going to do is I'm going to time out when the heaviest of the activity is going to arrive. I'm not doing all of it, okay? The reason I say this is because we're already starting to see storms roll into Kyle. Kyle, you can see here on your timeline, I'm saying 8:28. That is because that's when I think the heaviest activity is going to reach your doorstep. Mountain City by 8:22, Kyle by 8:28, here in San Marcos 8:31, Maxwell by 8:47 if the system holds together. But keep in mind, right now the warning lasts till 8:30. Based off the current trends, I would not be surprised if they actually extend this severe thunderstorm warning a little bit further to the south and east. But this is when the heaviest activity will reach your doorstep, not when the beginning of it reaches your doorstep. Because Kyle, you're probably seeing some bolts of lightning, maybe hearing a few rumbles of thunder. Hays City, you are probably going to see this activity in your neck of the woods in the next couple of minutes. I see that strong band of rain and maybe large hail moving into your neighborhood right now. Let's go ahead and take another look at this from the look at the winds. Strongest winds right now are currently over Wimberley, where you're seeing those bright shades of blue and bright green. That is where our strongest gusts are, probably closer to around 60 miles per hour. We can also check right back in with the hail tracker here. It does look like the reason why the National Weather Service said tennis ball size hail is possible is because it does look like the storm has strengthened a bit, where we're seeing the purple. A few minutes ago, we were only showing you blue. Showing the purple means that the diameter of the hail is getting a little bit bigger, which is understandable with those updrafts. If you recall, whenever I cut the storm in half and showed you it from the side, 40,000 feet updraft, that's very high up in the air. What's happening is the hail gets picked up in these updrafts, gets carried to the top, layer of ice forms on top of it, it falls back. The hail gets bigger the more trips it takes within the storm. It eventually gets so heavy it can't get carried up by the wind and the updraft any longer, and it falls down to the surface. So this storm is still allowing for those updrafts, and that's where we're seeing our largest hail. It's going to say golf ball size hail there, just northwest of Wimberley. Closer to Hays City, yours is probably marble to pea size hail. We just got a new scan from the Doppler radar, and it looks like it did get stronger once again. So that bright purple now indicating hen egg size hail. Yeah, if you're in Wimberley right now, you got to hunker down. You're getting that hail probably beating on your ceilings right now, on your roofs. By all means, if you're able to safely take any video or photo, please send them to me. You can tag me on social media at Make It Rain Shane. Send it on Instagram, send it on Facebook, send it to the KVUE Newsroom. You can also download the KVUE News app and submit any photos or weather videos through there. But I would love to showcase your conditions on air and online to really help tell the weather story that we're tracking right now, because these are some really strong storms, some fairly considerable storms that we have moving through the area this evening. And they're going to continue. That severe weather threat actually continues all the way toward 11, maybe even to midnight. The severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for almost every KVUE county until midnight tonight. If we take this full, You can see that this is now moving toward the I-35 corridor, some moderate bands of rain between Buda and Kyle. San Marcos is pretty quiet for you right now, but that will be changing shortly. Now, I know I've been focusing in on this severe thunderstorm warning, but I do also want to highlight what's going on up to the north. We do have a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning for Burnett and Williamson County. The Briggs area, you're probably starting to see activity taper down a bit, but northwestern Williamson County and the eastern edge of Burnett County needs to be on alert because we are seeing some significant feedback here on the radar. Let's start with hail. Take a look at that. We are seeing some large hail associated with this storm, especially around Briggs. How large of hail? Let's find out together. Golf ball size, golf ball size. Closer to Florence, you're probably starting to hear a few pings on the roof. That's pea-size hail that you're dealing with. And this is also moving southeast. Let me see exactly. It's moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do is I am going to time out this particular storm for you as well. I'm going to do it once again from the Okay, so here's a rough timeline for you here. Okay, so breaking this down for you, Liberty Hill by 8:32, that's going to be in the next 16 minutes. Leander, if it holds together, by 8:44. Cedar Park by 8:55. If you live around the Lakeline Mall, that's going to be around 9 p.m. and Jollyville by 9:05. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning lasts until 9 p.m., mostly impacting Burnett and Williamson County, but we'll have to see if that does hold together to make it toward Travis County. It's certainly possible that it could, but this is the weaker of the two storms, but still just as serious of a severe weather threat for us because, as you can see, we are tracking a very active radar for the northern portion of the I-35 corridor and certainly the southern portion. I mean, just look at all this lightning here between Dripping Springs and San Marcos. Goodness gracious, look at all this. We've got a lot of instability in the atmosphere today. We had our hottest day of the year so far, a lot of moisture in the air, and we have that lifting mechanism in the form of that cold front that's moving into the area. I mean, it's good to see the heavy rainfall rates. What's not good to see is the hail that's associated with it. We're in the midst of severe weather season here, and the radar right now certainly reflecting that. Still seeing some pretty strong winds pushing through Wimberley and down to the south and east. San Marcos, winds are going to start picking up for you shortly, in addition to the potential for that hail. Wow, look at here. Right here, wow. This is, if you're in Wimberley right now, this is the most significant hail core we have seen all evening long. Baseball size hail currently could be moving over you shortly. Tennis ball and baseball size hail currently through the area right now. What I'm going to do is I want to send this out on social media real quickly. I mean, very large and large hail was the main threat today, and it's certainly reflecting that right now. So once again, this particular shot that you're seeing right here is of the destructive hail that we have currently moving over the Wimberley area. I mean, this is just incredible, not in a good way, but I'm seeing hail feedback from at this rate and this size this evening is just absolutely remarkable in the worst way. Hate to see whenever we have hail like this. It just feels like we've been getting walloped with hail. Let's go ahead and cut this open again now that I do believe this is probably even stronger than what we were tracking a little bit earlier, because it does seem like this has been strengthening. I mean, yeah, it's around still 40,000 feet in altitude. That why we're seeing such large hail possible through these updrafts. Getting reports from viewers about hail in Driftwood on FM 150 in Hays County. That looks to be closer to ping pong ball size hail. And you know, guys, I think what I'm going to do now is I am going to probably move things over shortly to on air, because I think we need to cut in on air to get this update out here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to toss you back to a radar loop where I'll keep it on max 1. I'm going to turn off my microphone and we're going to try and do a cut in shortly so we can make people aware of this severe weather threat on air, okay? So if I'm going silent for a little bit, I'll leave the radar up so you can see everything I'm doing on air, or you can turn on K-View. We'll be jumping on shortly. Possibly damaging winds with up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Some of the radars have even been indicating baseball-sized hail that has been impacting areas from Wimberley to possibly soon-to-be San Marcos and the Kyle area. Let's go ahead and start with the tornado warning threat really quickly here. What we're going to do is break down where we think that rotation is. We were seeing very strong feedback on the radar here over the past few minutes. What we're showing you right now is the Doppler winds inbound and outbound. When we see blue like this is indicating very strong gusts moving toward the radar. 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible in here. Where we might be seeing the rotation is within this area right here. So if you do fall within the tornado warning box, that is going to be the red box on your screen right now that is stretching from Hays City all the way to Lockhart. I'm going to need you to find your safe space immediately. Let me see the latest here from the National Weather Service. Just showing you for perspective, the tornado warning will last until 8:45. The current time is 8:24, so we have 21 minutes together on this tornado warning. If you are within the red box that you see on your screen, some areas that fall within that, for example, Kyle, San Marcos, Zorn, and also right there on the edge of Lockhart, I need you to find your safe space immediately. What we're going to do is look for the base level of a sound structure. You're going to go to the interior room away from windows and doors. We're going to keep our head down and the volume turned up through the next little bit. Let's take a look at the hail tracker together. About 15 minutes or so ago, I was seeing baseball size hail that was possible with this. Some minor good news here. We are seeing it weaken a bit, but still hen egg size hail possible. Also seeing that stretching all the way back to Wimberley. I've also seen some estimates of golf ball size hail. If you live in San Marcos currently, you are maybe seeing pea size hail or hearing it on your window as we speak. So once again, if you're just tuning into us, what we're monitoring right now is not only the potential for large hail, but damaging wind and the possibility of a tornado. Now, this is a radar estimated tornado warning, which means one has not been detected visibly. It just means the radar has seen the ingredients and seeing the feedback to warrant a tornado warning. Right now, I think that's going to be in this neck of the woods. Wimberley, you are outside of the tornado warning box, but you are still getting some strong thunderstorms. Kyle, San Marcos, even the Hunter area and Redwood, you need to be on alert right now and you need to find your safe space immediately. Let's go ahead and pull back up the radar, show you where the heaviest activity currently is. It's going to be this pink magenta area, even right there where you're seeing the shades of black. This is showing extreme kinds of updrafts. Let me just show you how strong this storm currently is by cutting the area open for you and breaking this down for you. This is where we're seeing our strongest updrafts and heaviest updrafts, I should say. Right now, a little bit earlier, I was seeing it around 40 to 50,000 feet. Now it's condensed a little bit to 30,000, but just look how strong the feedback is on the radar. This is very heavy downpours moving down towards the surface. That's why we're probably seeing very incredible rainfall rates and also hail rates, because it is moving so strongly up to the 30 to 35,000 foot mark. That's why we're also seeing some very large hail possible, because the hail is constantly going up in this updraft and layers of ice are just packing on top of it. Now, eventually it'll get too heavy and that's when it falls down to the surface. But we are dealing with some very impressive rates here that are moving into Hays County, or moving through Hays County, I should say. So once again, if you are just joining us here, we do have an active tornado warning for Caldwell, Guadalupe, and Hays County. Let me check in with the latest from the National Weather Service. The tornado signature is tracking close to the city of San Marcos, including the shopping outlets. If you know anyone that's out of the outlet shopping right now, you got loved ones there, please, please, please make sure that they are on alert, that there are some strong storms moving their way as we speak. This system is moving. Let's time it out for you. Moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. What we're going to do is we're going to throw the storm track cone on it. What I am doing here is I am going to show you where the strongest point of it is and where it's moving. I am not showing you where the beginning of the rain is. So what I mean by that is you will feel the wind picking up, you will see the rain picking up, maybe even some hail ahead of this timeline, but this is when the strongest, the core of it's going to arrive. San Marcos by 8:34. That's within the next 6 minutes. Redwood by 8:44. Kingsbury by 9:09. Luling by 9:19 if this holds together. Keep in mind the tornado warning lasts until 8:45, but this storm has been strengthening as it pushes to the southeast. We've still got very warm temperatures. We've got a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and we've got a good lifting mechanism moving in from the north. That's why these storms are really popping off right now. We do expect them system to continue, that severe weather threat to continue as we head into the evening. As we take a look at the hail tracker here, still seeing the most sizable and significant hail core between Wimberley and San Marcos. That area in purple right there indicating golf ball size hail. I did see baseball size hail signatures a little bit earlier on in the evening. Activity now picking up in San Marcos as we speak. Let's go ahead and throw the winds on here to show you where the strongest winds are currently located. Probably just to the west of San Marcos, where we could be seeing gusts up to 60 miles per hour. We are getting reports from emergency management in Hays County that golf ball size hail and visibility less than 10 feet from their vehicle is currently ongoing in the San Marcos area. So not only are we seeing frequent lightning, strong wind, but we are getting reports of golf ball size hail in the area as we speak. Once again, we'll pull up the radar for you here, also showing you all the lightning that's associated with this system. A lot of instability and stuff going on here between Wimberley and San Marcos. As a refresher, Wimberley, you've been removed from the tornado warning box, but you are still dealing with some ongoing strong storms. Kyle, you're getting some heavy downpours at the moment, but I haven't gotten reports of hail from you just yet. Buda, you're getting moderate downpours. You're outside of that tornado warning box. I need my folks in Hunter to be on alert. You're just on the outside edge of this tornado warning. San Marcos, you need to be finding your safe space right now if you are not already in it. If you're watching this broadcast on your television, I'm going to need you to turn the volume up. You're going to go to your safe space, which is going to be an interior room on the ground floor of your home. If you have a basement, that's the best option for you. If you don't have a basement, you're going to go on your first floor of your home. You're going to go to the interior space away from windows and doors. If you can grab a blanket and a pillow on your way there, great. Put that over your head and you're going to keep your head down and the volume turned up. If you're watching this on a laptop or if you're watching us through the KVUE News app, turn the volume up on your phone or your computer, bring it with you. I'm going to stay with you every single step of the way until this tornado warning is over. I know we have a lot of viewers that this kind of stuff makes them very uncomfortable, very anxious. You are not alone in this. We are going to get through this together. Right now, if you are in between still, Wimberley and San Marcos, you're getting the brunt of this storm. The strongest portion of it right now is moving over you. It is moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. So the good news is it should be moving through your area quickly. The bad news is I know it sounds horrifying outside right now. Let's take an updated look at the hail tracker. Some slightly good news for us here is that I am seeing less of a sizable core, still seeing what could be up to golf ball size hail. Let's check in with that. Golf ball size hail still possible. Yep, stretching all the way back toward Wimberley, where it's probably closer to pea size in diameter at this point. Winds still very impressive on the Doppler right now, showing 60 mile per hour gusts or maybe even stronger just west of San Marcos. Now, where is that possible rotation? Let's kind of look for it together. I think what we're honing in on right here is right now closer between San Marcos, Redwood, and Zorn. This is where I think we're having our area of concern in regard to the tornado warning. We have still not yet received confirmation of a tornado. This is still a radar indicated tornado warning for us here. What we're going to do is we're going to stay in our safe space for at least the next. Let's make sure they haven't changed the timeline for this. Still 8:45 for Hays County, Caldwell, and Guadalupe County. So we have another 12 minutes together on this tornado warning. Still seeing the most significant feedback right here around the San Marcos area, moving over the I-35 corridor, going to make its way toward 80 and then possibly out closer to Lockhart and areas along 183 if it were to hold together. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, based off the strength of these storms, I would not be surprised if they don't hold together. I mean, I would be more surprised if they fizzled apart at this point, just because we do have a lot of ingredients in the atmosphere to really keep it going. Once again, kind of focusing in on this little hook that you're seeing on the radar, possibly right here, indicating where that rotation could be. The Doppler wind still not showing a tight circulation across this area, but still something worth noting. Still seeing the potential for golf ball size hail here. And what we're going to do right now together is we're also going to break down and see if this is strengthening in regard to updrafts across the area. So once again, the heaviest hitting area probably hitting closer to San Marcos. Now, it is worth noting that I'm still seeing some pretty intense 30,000 foot updrafts here. Once again, the higher this storm goes, the stronger it is. 30,000 feet updrafts are still pretty impressive, but earlier this evening we did see some 40,000 foot updrafts. Now, seeing this color shading of red and orange is indicating some pretty strong updrafts up to 30,000 feet. The higher they go, the more likely it is that we're going to be seeing some very large or significant size hail associated with it. If we zoom out a little bit further, what I'm going to do is kind of reset things here and give you the grand scheme of things. This is not the only storm we are tracking across the area. In fact, we are also seeing a severe thunderstorm warning that is impacting Williamson County. I'll kind of zoom in here closely on this just real quickly. We'll talk about it real shortly, just because this is not our main area of concern. But between Florence and Georgetown, a severe thunderstorm that is pushing out to the southeast. A lot of the areas not seeing a lot of activity from it just yet. But did want to point out that while we are also tracking that severe thunderstorm warning that's impacting the southern portion of the I-35 corridor as well. Right now, still picking up on a very significant area right here, just northwest of San Marcos. There's that tornado warning detail for you. 8:45 is when it lasts. Caldwell, Guadalupe, and Hays counties in effect. So we have another 10 minutes together on this storm. Still moving southeast at 40 miles per hour as of the latest from the National Weather Service. Taking a look right here, what we're also going to do is we're going to try and look at that rotation possibly again. Right now, where I think is where they're trying to indicate it is what we're seeing right here is what they want to. But the closer we get to the radar itself is when it gets really tricky for us to kind of try and find that circulation. It's easier when it's a little bit further out. But right now, if you have loved ones in between San Marcos and Kyle, even stretching out to Lockhart, even down out of our viewing areas where this tornado warning does extend. We are going to ride this tornado warning out together. I know it's inconvenient for those of you who are not included in this tornado warning, but it is our job to make sure our viewers are safe. And our viewers do stretch down to Kyle and San Marcos, and we are going to walk them through this together. I'm not going to apologize for it. We're doing our job here. So once again, looking at this hail core, because I do think that's probably our significant threat right now. If there is not a tornado, the most significant threats are the size of the hail and also the gusts. 60-mile-per-hour gusts still possible. There hasn't been any change in that within the past 5 minutes. Hail still showing golf ball size hail. I think we're also picking up on. We do. So what I'm getting a note right now from our producers that we have a hail photo from Henley. Thank you so much, Laura, for that. So what we are looking at right here is a viewer submitted photo. I can also confirm that we have received some verified reports from emergency management in Hays County. This one that you're seeing on your screen right now is hail from Johnson City. Just incredible. That is sitting in the palm of someone's hand. That does appear to be baseball size hail. Honestly, baseball or tennis ball size hail. Thank you so much, you guys, for showing that. And also thank you to our viewers for submitting those photos. If you do see anything or hear anything and you can safely record video or photos from your safe space, please submit it our way. However, if you are in the tornado warning box right now, I would ask that you hold off from doing that, please, and instead just wait till the tornado warning expires. If there's hail, it's still going to be out there by the time this expires, and then you can safely send those photos and videos. But please, if you are within the tornado warned area, I want you to stay in your safe space. Your safety is more important than getting photos on social media for your friends or for us. So once again, tornado warning still there in effect. San Marcos getting walloped right now the most with hail and rain. Probably the most lightning there as well. Redwood activity is picked up for you. Maxwell, it's about to pick up for you. For my friends there in Lockhart, things are going to get more active for you as well. And Kyle also seeing quite a bit of activity. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to walk you down the line a little bit further. You'll notice that we have a severe thunderstorm warning till 9:30. That is going to include Caldwell and Hays County as well. So that's extending a little bit further back. This yellow box right there, that is the severe thunderstorm warning that will last until 9:30. The tornado warning, a lot shorter, That will last until 8:45, impacting Caldwell, Guadalupe, and Hays counties. We're going to take another look at the hail core real quickly. Right now, moving over San Marcos, or about to move over San Marcos. Still showing golf ball size hail there. Closer to the San Marcos Regional Airport, marble sized hail. If you do fall within that severe thunderstorm warning box, that's going to be, once again, the box in yellow on your screen. You do have time to move your car under a carport into the garage if you can. If you are in the tornado warning box, do not go outside. Do not move your car. It's too late for you guys to do any moving or shifting. If you are not in a sound structure, if you need to leave your space, what you're going to do is you're going to find a ditch or a low-lying area. You're going to lay face down, hands behind your head until this storm passes. I know that does not sound like the thing that you intuitively would want to do. Keep in mind, we do have large hail as well, so you need to factor this in. If you are not near the area of rotation, let's show you the area of rotation right now, because we are getting confirmations of hail that is baseball size. So you have to be very mindful of that if you are not in a sound structure. If you can find a sound structure, that's the number one thing to do. That's the top priority. But if you are in an area where you just absolutely do not, you cannot try to outrun this kind of storm. If you are not within this area of rotation, if you're seeing the large hail, you don't need to be laying outside in the hail. This is the area that needs to be on alert for the possibility of a tornado. Areas behind it, San Marcos, yes, you could be seeing some strong damaging winds. You need to be away from any projectiles, any loose debris, any trees. You need to get away from those. But be mindful, if you're closer to the Redwood area, you do need to find your safe space. You need to be on the ground floor. You need to be in a central internal room away from windows and doors. And we need to be keeping our heads, faces down, hands behind our head. Still seeing some pretty impressive feedback on the radar in regard to the hail that's moving over San Marcos. Let me check in with the National Weather Service to see if we do have any more updates. In regard to behind this tornado warning, so the tornado warning's got another 3.5, 4 minutes left. This area in the severe thunderstorm warning, what it's looking like, my assumption is if this has been extended, most likely they'll drop the tornado warning at 8:45, and then we'll just be dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning. However, the hazards that could be still within the severe thunderstorm warning will be hail 2.5 inches in diameter and maybe 70-mile-per-hour gusts. So let's take once again another look at the winds here, because those are significant gusts here that we're talking about. They have weakened a little bit compared to the beginning of this warning. If you recall, we were seeing feedback of blue, which is even stronger than the green that you're seeing. This is a frozen look of the radar. So this is where we're seeing that possible rotation. It's not the strongest feedback. I'll be honest with you there. Still have not received confirmation that a tornado is actually on the ground. We are getting a pretty good idea that the wind is potentially destructive at 70-mile-per-hour gusts, or at least considerable, and the hail is certainly destructive with those viewer photos that we were showing you earlier. Is it possible, in the director booth, is it possible for us to pull back some of those photos and show folks some of the photos that we have here? And just give me a reminder of where they're from, because we have already seen numerous reports, not only through the National Weather Service. So this is a photo of the hail that fell in Henley earlier this evening. You can see that fits in the palm of someone's hand. That fits the description of baseball or tennis ball size hail. This is a photo that is submitted from Johnson City. Now you can see this one is actually a much smoother hail core, or hail that fell, but still destructive in size, fitting in the palm of someone's hand. That is tennis ball to baseball size hail that we've been dealing with. So thank you again to our viewers for submitting those photos and helping us to tell the weather story. Right now, the weather story is a fairly active one and a severe one, as we do still have that tornado warning in effect for the next minute and a half. Or so. There has not been any word from the National Weather Service as to whether or not they will be extending this, this tornado warning. My educated guess would be that they would most likely drop the tornado warning and just leave us with a severe thunderstorm warning, which is the yellow box that you already see on your screen. As a side note, I know we are also tracking another strong storm up there in Williamson County. It is worth noting that this one has intensified. This severe thunderstorm warning lasts until 9:30 this evening, impacting areas between Georgetown and Jarrell right now, probably the strongest activity. If you live in Taylor, you need to hunker down and get ready because we do have those strong storms heading your way. Taking a look at the hail tracker, it is showing the possibility, once again, up here, of maybe hen egg size hail. So that is potentially destructive as well. Considerable damage can be dealt. We're going to zoom right back down here, down to the south. It does look... So we still have that tornado warning active. We're going to hold on just the next couple of seconds together. We got another 10 seconds or so to see if they're going to extend it or drop it. My guess is that we will be dropping it. It has officially dropped, and so now the active warnings that we have here, we'll do a recap really quickly of them, and then we'll return you back to your programming. We have this severe thunderstorm warning that could be impacting Caldwell and Hays counties for the KV viewing area. Considerable damage is possible within this storm. It does say threat possible being a tornado. We have not had any confirmation of tornado. What we're saying is that the amount of rotation that we've seen does show the possibility of a tornado. 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts possible in addition to large hail. Also, just as a reminder, we're going to take you right back up here to the north to show you the severe thunderstorm warning impacting Williamson County. The main concerns with this one right now do appear to be large hail and also the potential for some damaging wind. We do have emergency management from the city of Georgetown that has already reported hail that was just shy of quarter size is what I'm looking at some viewer photos right now. An update, we also have an officer report of windows broken by wind blown hail in San Marcos, about 1 mile west of San Marcos. So once again, that's going to be that storm that was tornado warned that is now a severe thunderstorm warning. So this is now about to be, the bulk of it is about to be exiting Hays County and entering into Caldwell County. So please be on alert there. What we're going to do right now is we're going to return you back to your regularly scheduled program, but we will be going to our streaming platforms in order to continue our coverage of these severe storms. If another tornado warning were to be issued or if we have more severe storms warned, we will make sure to hop on air and provide updates. But until then, we're going to go on over to our digital side. You can follow us by watching and downloading the KVUE News app for free in the App Store. Please stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you again shortly. we have grape-size hail, and just south of Lockhart, we have pea-size hail currently ongoing. Now from the hail threat, let's talk about the wind threat. We did have a tornado warning for this storm a little bit earlier on. Now taking a look at this now, the winds are not as impressive as what they were about 5 to 10 minutes or so ago, but what we have to keep our eyes on are the potential for a spin-up tornado. If you take a look right here, what we monitor for is where these red and green kind of dance around each other. That would be indicating a possible rotation. So what the red is showing is winds moving away from the radar right here indicated with the sweeping motion. The green indicates wind that is moving toward the radar. So whenever they're moving in opposite directions, sometimes they start to spin around, and that would indicate possible rotation, which could lead to a tornado. Now earlier we were seeing feedback, the green was turning actually fairly blue, which was indicating very strong and damaging gusts. I did receive a report from emergency management that had mentioned that some hail had been blown by the strong winds and actually broke windows in some areas in Hays County because of how large the hail was and how strong the wind were. They were kind of working together to cause some destruction there. This particular severe thunderstorm warning does last until 9:30. So the current time as of this stream is 8:54. I do want to also touch on the severe thunderstorm warning that is currently happening in Williamson County. You do see, let's take a look at the hail core together. Still seeing some pretty sizable hail here. We'll zoom in here locally. Areas of purple and magenta indicating hen egg size hail. The lighter blue indicating golf ball size hail. Light gray indicating grape size hail. Georgetown activity is a little bit quieter for you now, but it was certainly active a little while ago. We were also receiving hail reports from Georgetown as well. In regard to rotation and wind, I'm not seeing terribly impressive wind gusts with this particular storm. That doesn't mean we couldn't see some strong gusts come out of it, but right now it's nowhere near as strong as the gusts that are ongoing in Hays and Caldwell County. If you are tuning in this and you're in a safe space and you can safely take any photos or video, would love for you to showcase those videos for us or photos for us. You could tag me on social media at Make It Rain Shane. You could also submit it through the KVUE News app that's free to download. You can email it to the station as well, and we will try to get that on air or online. You really do help us tell the weather story in situations like this. Let's also go ahead and kind of cut this system open, see if we can recognize any trends that are happening with it in regard to whether or not it's weakening. So still showing updrafts at around 30,000 feet. Just as a reminder, I'll kind of break this down here for you guys. This is showing the altitude. This is showing how high the updraft goes. Right now it looks like the bulk of the updraft getting just around 30,000 feet, maybe closer to 35,000 feet. This is allowing hail to keep on going up in the updraft, falling back down, then getting picked back up by the updraft winds, and basically accumulating more layers of ice. That's why we've been seeing such impressive hail cores this entire evening. Once again, you'll still notice on your screen it's saying threat tornado possible. That's because the radar is still hinting at some possible rotation. We have not received any confirmation of tornadic activity throughout this entire evening. We have had a couple of tornado warnings. We've had two to be exact so far this evening. One that impacted Mason and Delano County, and the second one impacted the southern portion of the I-35 corridor. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of reset here, take a look at everything across the board. We've got two main storms. My folks in Austin, it looks like the severe weather threat really split around the Austin metro area. Maybe a little bit of light rain for you guys, but it looks like the bulk of the severe weather threat really went into Williamson, and it went into Hays County, and now into Caldwell County as we speak. So we're going to zoom in here once again on the stronger of the two storms, just because this has been the one that has been showing the most destruction so far over the past hour, I'd say, almost at this point. We'll take a look at the hail core together. It's still holding on. If you're in Lockhart, you're It looks like you have a good chance of missing the largest hail. That's great. If you're in Martindale, you just had some strong hail move through your neck of the woods. San Marcos Regional Airport also probably got pelted quite a bit. If you live in Joliet, if you live out near Sea Willow, please make sure you are taking shelter. You do not have an active tornado warning, but you do have a strong storm that could potentially spin up a tornado. But I think the main concerns for you are going to be large to very large hail. Golf ball size hail is the biggest that I'm picking up on this particular scan. Pea size hail is going to be your dark grays that you see on the outer edge of your screen right now. So once again, what we'll do is kind of look at the movement of this storm in Williamson County. It's a little bit trickier for us here. Going to be impacting the Taylor area very shortly. If you are in the Taylor area, get ready for the potential not only for hail, but also some heavy rainfall moving your way. Now, we have not had any flood threats this entire evening. The most significant threats have been hail and damaging wind as expected, but keep in mind some of these are dropping some very impressive rainfall rates. Just checking in with the National Weather Service here to see if we have any other updates. We're getting hail reports from Texas State, just south of Texas State. The severe thunderstorm warning has officially been canceled for Hays County, or excuse me, for Hays County. The latest on the severe thunderstorm warning that is impacting Caldwell County is it is moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail and 70 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. Areas that could be impacted include Lockhart, Luling, Martindale, Kingsbury, Staples, Brownsboro, Delhi, Joliet, Tillman, Stairtown, Oak Forest, Maxwell, and Redwood, in addition to Thompsonville. We'll also take a look at the wind radar here. Not seeing any rotation in Williamson County. That's some great news for those of you who might be a little anxious about the idea of tornadic activity. I'm not seeing any rotation there. That is good news for us here. Unfortunately, we are still tracking a hail core. In fact, it looks like the hail core is getting even bigger, moving toward 95. Billiard ball size hail is what's currently being picked up by the possible radar here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post this to social media real quickly so I can warn our viewers about this particular storm in Williamson County and the hail threat. Okay, so once again, taking a live look, that was a look from our tower camera. Still showing fairly active radar both in Williamson County and now entering into, or now continuing to push through Caldwell County, in between Lockhart and Prairie Lea. Moving into Joliet, let's freeze the radar. Once again, looking at hail, it looks like the largest hail is moving over Joliet right now and also is about to move over 183. Golf ball sized hail is what the radar is currently picking up on. We're going to zoom out further and then time out. Where are we going? Luling. Luling, you could be out of the woods in regards to seeing the largest hail, but there is still like a minor hail threat for you guys. I know we have a few people that quite a few people that will reach out from Luling from time to time. Still keeping our eyes on possible rotation, especially possible rotation moving toward 183 right here. I'm not seeing the strongest signature, but it's just something I'm keeping my eyes on since we have had a couple of tornado warnings issued, you guys. Right now, tornadic activity is definitely on the lower end of the threat for us, but we can't rule it out. And regardless of whether or not a tornado actually develops, we have been seeing some pretty significant gusts, which could cause some damaging, create damaging straight line winds, which could be, just as destructive for us. So we need to be mindful of that, which is why we keep an eye on the Doppler winds and the velocity while we're tracking these storms for you. Here's an updated look of where the hail is. The severe thunderstorm warning. This storm could potentially cause considerable damage. It's in effect until 9:30. That's for another 25 minutes as of the time of this stream. As we head back up to the north, this one is also until 9:30 in Williamson County, where I'm now seeing the most significant feedback between Circleville and Taylor. Let's take a look at the hail core again together. Still showing a very significant hail core. In fact, the most impressive hail core that we've got right now. Showing tennis ball size hail. Right about to move over 95 as we speak. So if you've got loved ones in the way of this storm, what I'm going to do also is I want to go ahead and time this storm out for you in case, since the hail core is so significant with this, I do want us to go ahead and plan ahead. So what we're going to do, let me find the speed and distance here. Okay, the latest from the National Weather Service as of 1 minute ago. The severe thunderstorm was located near Taylor. It is moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. It is a destructive storm for Taylor and Thrall. 3-inch size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this one. Here's some areas that need to be on alert. If you're in Bocas, 932, near Lawrence School, 929, Lexington by 958, Lincoln by 1012 if it holds together, and Old Dime Box by 1016 p.m. if it holds together. But right now we are seeing some destructive hail potentially moving in toward the Taylor area and the Thrall area. If you are listening to this, the feedback on the Doppler winds, you're seeing that brighter shade of green, which would indicate some stronger gusts. The National Weather Service said 60 mile per hour gusts are possible with this storm. Let's see here if we can see anything else. We're still keeping our eyes on the system that is also, the Warren system that is also into Caldwell County. Hail core significant for both of them, but still the strongest one is in Williamson County, continuing to push out to the southeast. Both of these storms are moving southeast. also getting reports of multiple downed power lines, trees and roadways, lightning strikes and fire alarms in the Wimberley and San Marcos area. This would be behind this severe thunderstorm warning that's currently moving through Caldwell County. It has weakened considerably since it pushed through Hays County, but the bulk of the destruction really came into Hays County just a little while ago. So we head back up to the north. I still want to focus in on this one, though, in Williamson County, because we are seeing the potential for destructive hail. Now currently on top of the Taylor area. It has weakened slightly, but still some sizable hail here. Hen egg size hail in the bright purple, golf ball size in the darker purple, and the lighter blue we're showing walnut size hail. Just continuing to check in with the National Weather Service real quickly, you guys, just to see if they have any updates in regard to these storms. We're continuing to get a variety of storm reports issued by emergency management and residents of these areas across central Texas. Are still continuing that severe thunderstorm warning in Williamson. Getting reports, let's see here, from emergency management in Taylor of golf ball and larger hail in Taylor ongoing. That's what we've been talking about. Let's go back up to this one. So reports by emergency management of golf ball and larger hail in Taylor. That does check out based off of the current trends. It's currently moving over Taylor, moving over 95 and down through 79. Okay, it does look like we've got an update. So while we are still keeping our eyes on that strong storm in Williamson County, we also do have an update for the severe thunderstorm warning that is currently moving through, or that it currently includes Caldwell County. It now extends a bit. Let's get the latest information from this. Now the warning has been extended until 10:15 p.m. The storm is located near Luling and is moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. It could contain 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Seguin, Luling, Shiner, Stockdale, Nixon, Kingsbury, Sublime, Pandora, Gillette, and Westoff need to be on alert as this storm could be impacting all of you. As you can see, this does expand very far to the south and east, and that is because there's a lot of uncertainty in regard to where these showers and storms will pop up. It does look like some of the outflow that we're seeing from this storm is creating additional storms, but it will soon be exiting our viewing area because our viewing area it will end south of Caldwell County. Now let's go back up to the north in Williamson County, where we're still tracking that hail over Taylor and moving to the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. I'm going to freeze the radar right now, and then we're going to put the latest storm cone on there so we can track when the biggest amounts of this hail core will be moving into their neck of the woods. Once again, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour would have it in Bocas by 9:34, Blue by 9:48, Lexington by 10 p.m., Lincoln by 10:14, and if it holds together long enough, it would make it to Giddings by 10:26. But I think by that point, it would be a much weaker storm. based off the current trends of it continuing to weaken. And as we lose that daytime heating, and now that sunset has already occurred, we should hopefully see the atmosphere stabilize a little bit more. It's just very tricky because we had our hottest day of the year so far across central Texas, which means there's just a lot basically cooking in the atmospheric oven, which is why these storms are so destructive, why they are creating such strong updrafts, which is leading to this large and destructive hail across the area. In regard to wind gusts, for those of you concerned about wind damage, we have a member from the National Weather Service that said some of the highest wind gust reports so far was around 61 miles per hour at the New Braunfels Airport. The 61 miles per hour appears to be the strongest gust that were recorded, and that was about 8:51, so almost about 20 to 30 minutes ago. We are also now getting some reports of many people without power. This is closer to the New Braunfels area, about 5,000 customers without power on SH46 from Loop 337 to almost 281. This is not surprising, this damaging wind, damaging hail, and had seen reports earlier about multiple downed power lines in parts of Hays County. So that would make sense that we're seeing people without power, but about 5,000 customers currently without power on SH46 from Loop 337 to almost 281. We'll try and keep an eye on the power outage map throughout our shows a little bit later this evening. Our next broadcast is going to be at 10 p.m. on KVUE. Let's zoom in here a little closer just to get an update at that look at that storm in Williamson County. Still seeing a sizable hail core. I'm going to guess this is probably around golf ball size hail. Let's take a look at it together. Yep, golf ball size hail there. The lighter blue showing golf ball size hail as well, and the lighter gray indicating walnut size hail. Also, just want to remind you, as we head throughout the rest of the evening, you're probably curious what the severe weather threat looks like for the rest of our viewing area. What I'm going to load real quickly is the severe thunderstorm watch. This includes every county in the KV viewing area except Mason County. I think their severe weather threat for the evening has mostly tapered off. Now, Llano County, Gillespie County, Blanco, and Burnett County can't rule out some storms bubbling up, but genuinely, I think the severe weather threat for you guys will be significantly lower because we haven't seen any backbuilding of any of these storms so far. Can't rule it out naturally, but I think as of now, the severe weather threat is pushing into the coastal plains over the next 2 hours. Our severe weather threat, based off the forecast models, was showing it breaking up around 11 o'clock tonight, kind of finishing up. That severe thunderstorm watch does go until midnight. An update from Hays County Emergency Services. There have been a report of 9,475 outages in San Marcos. PEC is reporting 1,674 outages in Hays County, and Bluebonnet is reporting 5,165 outages in Hays County. As of 9:17 this evening was that report. So once again, going to kind of focus in here on that Williamson County storm that is now about to exit the Taylor area. I know a lot of people in Taylor probably breathing a sigh of relief after getting all that hail. It is now probably more pea-size in size. It is getting, the core itself is getting smaller, still showing maybe golf ball, walnut size hail possible, but it is weakening. That is the good news. That trend is continuing to go down. Winds not crazy out there in Williamson County in regard to what we're seeing on the Doppler. And the winds in Caldwell County still pretty impressively strong winds in the Caldwell County storm, honestly. Red is indicating wind that is pushing away from the radar. The radar, for perspective, is this little clear circle that you see just east of New Braunfels on your map. So the red is moving away from that circle. The green is moving toward. As of now, not concerned with any rotation between these two storms. Also cut this storm open again just to see what the trends are in regard to the updrafts. Now this is some pretty impressive updrafts here. This is why I think the hail core is taking a while to go down. Just as a reminder, the numbers that you're seeing there on white saying 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, that's talking about the altitude, how high this storm is, the updrafts are occurring within this storm. Over 40,000 up to 50,000 feet updrafts. That is very impressive, bringing either very heavy downpours, but more likely in the form of very large hail that we're seeing there. We've been seeing some updrafts as strong as 45,000 feet. This might be the tallest updraft, believe it or not, that I've seen all evening, though, while we've been tracking these storms that are currently moving past Taylor and out to the southeast. This explains why we are seeing the hail be so strong, honestly. Let's cut this one open as well, since we just did it with the storm in Williamson County. Let's see what's happening. Luling, if for anyone tuning in from Luling right now, I know you have got quite a lot going on right now. Let's see what's happening with the storm in your neck of the woods. Wow, look at this. Also 50,000 foot updrafts, or just about, for this particular storm. It's just incredible how strong these storms are. They've just had all day. The atmosphere has just been charging with the heat. We saw the clouds part a bit. That elevated our temperatures. There's plenty of moisture in the air from how humid our conditions have been. And this just does spell for a very severe weather outbreak for us. Now, while we are only tracking 2 strong storms at the moment, I mean, it only takes a couple of storms to make a severe weather event. And that is what this has become this evening. So it does look like we have some newly issued severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's break those down for you real quickly. It does look like we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15 p.m. for portions of Bastrop, Lee, Travis, and Williamson counties. Let me get you the latest information on this one. A severe thunderstorm was located near Thrall. That's the one we've been tracking for the last little bit. 9 miles southeast of Taylor, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. The hazards with this will be 2-inch size hail in diameter and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Areas that could be included include Pflugerville, Taylor, Elgin, Bastrop, Giddings, Lexington, Manor, Thrall, Dime Box, Page, Camp Swift, in addition to Weberville and Knob Springs. So once again, this newly issued severe thunderstorm warning kind of expands the area a bit and lasts until 10:15. As you can see, it's the yellow in gold right there on your screen. This current thunderstorm warning that is moving through the eastern edge of Williamson County will expire in the next 7 minutes. And at that point, then we're going to see that storm warning expand into Bastrop and the northeastern edge of Travis County and into Lee County. Okay, you guys, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn things back over to our radar stream on Max 2. If for any reason we see these storms strengthen, if we have any tornado warnings issued, I will hop back on air to KVUE in order to give you an update. If we see these storms strengthen but not enough to warrant a cut-in on air, I will hop onto our digital platforms like I'm doing right now in order to give you an update. Please make sure you're staying weather aware throughout the next couple of hours. I will be hopping on the air at KVUE on KVUE Night Beat starting at 10 o'clock this evening to provide an updated look at your forecast. Stay safe out there, everyone.